Hi Leute und willkommen zurück zu Tales of Arise. Wir sind endlich auf Lenegis angekommen und haben zum Schluss ein paar sehr gute Feststellungen gemacht, denn anscheinend war von den Renans hier auf Lenegis noch niemand auf dem Renan-Heimatplaneten. Also wissen wir gar nicht, ob die wirklich von dem Planeten kommen oder ob die alle hier geboren wurden. Angeblich ist der Herrscher, wer auch immer das ist, der ja eigentlich alle 7 Jahre neu geändert wird, auf dem Planeten, aber nicht hier in der Stadt. Why? Warum? Er müsste doch hier alles anführen und nicht unten auf dem Planeten. Sehr, sehr merkwürdig. Und was mir jetzt aufgefallen ist, weil sie gerade noch erwähnt haben, dass es vielleicht wie bei Alphen jetzt wieder diese Zeremonie gibt, um einen neuen Herrscher zu machen. Kann es sein, dass sie das schon mal gemacht haben, so wie jetzt, also dass dieser Planet aufgegangen ist, sich transformiert hat, dabei alles zerstört wurde und dass halt genau bei der Zeremonie mit Alphen und Naori damals genau das gleiche passiert ist. Also Alphen gar nichts damit zu tun hat, dass so viele vor 300 Jahren verletzt wurde, sondern einfach, weil wegen der Zeremonie das ganze Ding aufgegangen ist, deshalb die ganzen Gebäude eingestürzt sind und Menschen verletzt wurden. Also er ist gar nicht schuld, sondern weil das Renes Alma eingesetzt wurde, um den Planeten zu transformieren, deshalb ist alles kaputt gegangen. Wäre eine logische Sehensweise der Tatsachen, anstatt dass Alphen einfach eine Hand zu irgendeinem Objekt ausgestreckt hat und deshalb alles kaputt gegangen ist, explodiert ist, zusammengebrochen ist. Wenn man jetzt sieht, dass hier jetzt auch alles kaputt gegangen ist, nachdem einfach der Planet sich so ein bisschen entfaltet hat, transformiert hat irgendwo. Mal schauen, vielleicht finden wir das noch raus. Und wir werden jetzt versuchen,
with nobody left to run the I mean, there's...
But Dohalim was a lord, right?
Only current acting lords have power. Renan society is quite strict about such matters.
Even if the other lords were still around, I doubt they'd be able to do much about the situation.
I wonder what they'd think if they were here to see Lenegis now. Balsif, Ganabelt, Almadria, and Volron. Now that I think of it, aside from Dohalim, we know next to nothing about the other lords.
Well, yeah, why would we? To us Dahnans, they were just enemies we needed to overthrow. Nothing more.
I know. But seeing Renans in their own city, going about their day-to-day lives, it gets you thinking.
It feels strange to imagine the lords living here too, you mean?
Yeah, a little.
If you're that curious about them, why not try inquiring with some of the locals? Every lord in their household has their share of supporters here on Lenegis. And luckily for us, the people here are unaware of the events on Dahna.
ja, können wir mitnehmen. Da müssen wir jetzt, oh Gott, da müssen wir wieder zurück. Schnell.
Yes! Yeah!
Okay, die quatschen also Trash. Danke.
Balsef had it in him to care about someone other than himself? Really?
It's possible. A change in position can do much to alter one's perspective.
So even he might have had something he wanted to protect.
What? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Ganabelt was so horrible to people, yet he was invested in helping Rena succeed. Doesn't that seem just a little inconsistent?
I'm perhaps biased in this matter, I admit.
Hmm. Hmm?
I guess she intended to spread it throughout all of Lenegis then.
Good thing the lines were down so she couldn't.
It almost sounded like she was praising them too.
Maybe there was more to the guy than at first glance.
I shall refrain from commenting.
Okay, let's go. Sehen wir uns das nächste Gebiet an. Ja, okay. Nur falls wir kämpfen müssen.
This area doesn't look as badly damaged as that other district we went through.
Indeed, the effects of Lenegis's transformation appeared.
Pardon me.
I guess her willingness to stoop to any low came from a survival of the fittest worldview.
And some people here not only shared her belief, but championed it as morally right too.
That doesn't make it true. Too bad they couldn't see through her.
Yeah.
Ridiculous. Okay. Ah!
It seems like the people on Lenegis don't really know much about Volron either.
I remember being quite surprised when the Lord of Ganath Haros changed so abruptly.
Didn't you have any doubts that something suspicious was going on?
On the contrary. Remember, we Renans are raised to accept everything at face value.
When you think about it, the families of Renan lords must see them differently than the rest of us.
Yeah, despite the brutality they're known for.
They must have had a lot on their shoulders, carrying all the weight and responsibilities of Renan society.
Renans live in a world where strength and power determine their position in the social hierarchy, so they tend to grow up fiercely competitive. But their loyalty to their people is also strong. It's what brings them together against outside forces, and nothing exemplifies that more than the Lords.
That's what makes them the guardians of all of Rena, so to speak.
Right. It's the same reason Balsif hated my guts, and Ganabelt went after you. Because we're threats to Rena.
Guess that makes you an even bigger oddball than we thought.
So, Alphen, have you gained anything from all of this?
Yeah. I think it's made me realize that the lords were all people. Also,
Yeah,
Da bin
I
ich
know,
nicht mit
but at the
einverstanden.
same, so I,
You're
Ein
sick,
Monster.
even if...
Renwell.
Am I wrong?
not at all.
Being a Danan doesn't make you a good person. And being a Renan doesn't make you a bad one. I think that's something we've all seen.
Shionne and Dohalim definitely make a good case for.
And I'm going to keep doing my best to...
Ui.
There's something I just don't get.
What is it?
The crown contest itself has always gone ahead as planned, right? In which case, the current sovereign of Rena should be whoever it was that won the previous contest.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So, who was it then?
Hanfried Milgras, the former lord of Cislodia, if memory serves.
So then this Hanfried whatchamacallem, he's the current ruler of Rena?
The last I heard, yes. Though, admittedly, I haven't actually seen him since the end of the previous contest.
You're saying that ever since becoming sovereign, he's never actually shown himself on Lenegis?
I guess over holocom maybe, but not in the flesh. Same thing goes for the sovereign that came before him.
Now that you mention it, I don't recall anyone ever visiting Lenegis from the motherland, sovereign or otherwise.
And that never struck you as a little bit odd?
When you live here, it's as if you're conditioned not to notice all these strange quirks and discrepancies. The question is then, by whom? And to what end?
A new Renis Alma is supposedly created to coincide with every crown contest, meaning each victor is awarded their very own. In other words, if that's true, there should be as many of the things out there as there have been contests.
True, but going on what we witnessed in Pelagian, it didn't look like the sort of thing that could be made to order. But if even the victor's speeches have been part of some grand deception, then where are they? Quite frankly, I'm not even sure what to believe anymore.
You and me both. Though we are Renin by blood, neither of us even knew that such a thing as a Dark Master Corps existed, remember?
With any luck, the Forbidden Zone might give us some answers.
No use standing around here chatting about it then. Let's get a move on.
Doe?
Ah, nee.
Faria.
Varia? Isn't that the person that Avakir guy was...
But why are you here? Wait. Don't tell me you've given up on the crown contest and come crawling back home from Dahna already. Nothing to say? Even though you were willing to kill Tarnigan to secure your position as Lord, you still... Kill?
I'm here to take care of something. If you wish to continue this conversation, I only ask that you wait until I'm finished.
Oh, of course. You always did prefer to take the coward's way out. Even after 7 years and living on that Dahnan rock, you haven't changed one bit. But let me tell you, I haven't changed either. Not a day's gone by the past 7 years that I haven't hated you.
If killing me will bring you peace, then so be it.
Dohalim, what the hell are you saying?
First, I have business to take care of. If it's vengeance you seek, I will grant you it. But you must wait. My sins are legion. Let me finish what I came to do. Then you have my word. I will let you do whatever brings you peace.
Sure, that's it. Run away like always. You don't even have the courage to die. No wonder you leave it to someone else. You're just a coward!
Rip.
Dohalim.
I apologize that you had to witness that.
Is it true? What she said about you killing someone?
Each of us have our pasts. I am no exception.
Ist ja nicht so, dass wir schon
Before,
Hunderte getötet
back in
haben.
Menancia, you mentioned having taken a friend's life over the throne. Is that what she meant?
The mistakes I made there were not my first, and may not be my last. I will say no more.
Did you mean what you said? About letting her take your life if she wanted to?
She has more right to my life than anyone.
But you can't just...
Whatever happens, I have sworn to put an end to the crown contest, and to ensure continued coexistence in Menancia. I have no intention of expiring before I do so. There are far too many questions I still seek answers to. Besides, you have just as much reason to kill me as she does.
Dohalim!
Forgive me. Some things are best left unsaid.
Aber wir haben ja seine Erinnerung gesehen und wir haben ja gesehen, dass ihr Bruder, whatever das war, der komplett wahnsinnig geworden ist beim Kampf und auf Dohalim ja krass losgegangen ist und er sie halt nur gewehrt hat. Er sogar gefragt hat, sogar gesagt hat, dass er aufhören soll. Also... Vielleicht ist die Frau, die jetzt gerade gefangen genommen wurde, um uns später zu erpressen, vielleicht ein bisschen dumm. Und nein, wenn es die Option gibt, sie zu retten oder Dohalim zu opfern, nee, kannst behalten. Nicht aufmachen. Können wir später vielleicht nochmal nehmen. Ne? Mal gucken, wie viele so eine Gespräche noch kommen. Ich habe gedacht, wir kommen hier hoch, müssen hart kämpfen, uns bis Level 50 oder 60 hochgrinden. Nix. Hier wird nur gequatscht. Feuerwehr ist am Start.
I'm getting pretty hungry.
Wanna sit down and fix something?
Das
Yep,
ist
the sooner the better.
Tofu für die Quest, die man von dem Gourmet-Typen braucht. Okay, dann weiß ich Bescheid, was er braucht. Diese olle Nebenquest. Das... Los, Feuerwehr. Also ich würde dem Kind helfen, aber ich kann nicht. Wird wohl verbrennen.
Wow, this place is beautiful.
Yeah. It must be some sort of rest and leisure area for the locals.
You think? Man, these Renan sure know how to live it up, don't they?
Is something the matter, Dohalim?
Before I went down to Dahna, my friends and I, we used to gather at this very spot and play music together. Avakir, Faria, and Tarnagan. That was a lifetime ago now.
Tarnagan. He was the one that Faria mentioned, right?
He was once my dearest, closest friend. As well as Faria's betrothed.
Aha.
Despite Faria's lower-class upbringing, she possesses a tremendous talent for music. Entranced by her playing, I helped her overcome her sense of inferiority and introduced her to Tarnagan and Avakir. It was a time of great joy. 4 people bound only by their love of music, with no care for social standing. Only the next song, the next melody.
A friendship based on mutual respect, and a society where everyone is a prisoner to their social class. You really are different, Dohalim.
I suppose it's natural you would see it as strange.
I would have, once. Now, I think the idea of breaking away from society's constraints and choosing your friends based solely on affection is something beautiful that's worth cherishing. Besides, it was that way of looking at the world that laid the foundations for coexistence in Menancia.
Your praise does me too great an honor. I was merely following the wishes of my own heart. And even then, it only lasted until the crown contest began. After that, Tarnagin and I became fierce competitors for the position of Lord. Tarnagin had fallen for Faria. By becoming Lord, he aimed to wrest her from her humble origins and raise her to the highest echelons of society. But fate was not so benevolent.
What happened?
Tarnagin was no match for me in combat. On a level playing field, he wouldn't have stood a chance. But he was desperate and low on options, and he couldn't stand the thought of defeat.
You mean he resorted to dirty tactics to try to win, right? But then why does Faria think... Wait, don't tell me she doesn't know.
How could I tell her? Combined with the trauma of losing her beloved, and by her friend's hand, no less. She would have been devastated.
So instead you let her go on hating you, so she could use that hate as a crutch for her grief?
That's not the same as running away, though.
It is exactly the same. Unable to face the loss of my friend and the burden of my duty. Instead, I decried my fate and looked away from what I'd done. As for what happened after, that you already know.
But if you hadn't become Lord, Menancia wouldn't be what it is now. The Dahnans there would still be suffering under Renan oppression like before.
Shionne's right. What other lord would have treated me as you did? Anyone else and I would have been dead long ago. You've saved so many people, Dohalim. You saved me. It's thanks to you that I'm here today. So, try not to blame yourself. The burden you've placed on your own shoulders is too much for anyone to bear.
Frank as always. But I shall do my best to heed your advice.
Do you think he'll be all right?
Yeah, I think so. He's got Kisara.
It's important to have someone like that.
I didn't realize how difficult it is just to be there for someone.
Sometimes just knowing someone's on your side can be enough. And he knows, Shionne. I promise he does.
I hope you're right. Alphen.
Yeah?
I never appreciated until recently just how much you were always there to support me.
It goes both ways. You've helped me keep going more times than I can count.
Maybe, but I still wanted to say thank you.
War das gerade dieser verrückte Professor, der diese komische Frucht da erschaffen hat? Kann das sein?
I see a medic and supply officer over there. If they know you're with me, they'll likely offer their assistance.
Moin, moin. Vielleicht kämpfen wir doch noch mal irgendwann.
Easy peasy.
Und jetzt gucken wir mal, können wir geile Rennen-Waffen machen? Finden wir es raus. Jo. Ah ja. Heuschreckenkral. Muss ich den Boss echt machen? Wenn ich das Schwert machen kann. Aber das... Mist. Ah, das ist ein... Bitte was? Habe ich irgendwie ein Update vom Spiel verpasst? Erst war plötzlich in meinem Inventar diese komischen Koch-Outfits, wo ich keine Ahnung habe, wo die herkommen. Jetzt habe ich eine Karottenmachete, die mir 302 Durchdringung gibt, aber dafür meine Angriffskraft, verdammt. Was ist hier? Hä? Okay, aber das Renisches Gladius hat wenigstens mal einen neuen Style. Renisches Gewehr. Aha. Aha. What the... Junge. Das ist das, was ich anhabe. Oh mein Gott. Was? Ich kann bessere... Was? Ja, okay, da mach. Bevor ich irgendwann wieder irgendwas... Ackerbau... Okay. Dann könnte da hier... Ja, mach halt. Oh mein Gott. Ich muss das irgendwann verpasst haben, als ich... What the heck? Das, ja genau, das macht auch Durchdringung höher, aber dafür Angriffskraft runter. Objekte. Oh, hier gibt es diese Diamantenausrüstung. Diamantenweste kann man sich in Dohalims Arena für Lore erspielen, wenn man will. Aber warum sollte man sich das jetzt holen? Mal gucken. Der ist okay hoch von den Stats. Das sehe ich auch noch ein. 6, 37, 6 und 3, 28, 2. Warum sollte man dafür 9.550 ausgeben? Das sehe ich ja nicht ein. Ich habe schon wieder gleich kein Geld und ich hatte eben gerade noch über 100.000. Müssen wir Gold verkaufen hier. Da Heck. Aber ich habe doch nicht, dadurch, dass ich eine Bauernhof-Quest gemacht habe, so viele Skins bekommen und dann noch irgendwelche komischen Bauernhofwaffen. The heck?
Have you guys checked your equipment lately?
Heuschreckenkralle.
Hey.
Ich bin gerade ganz ruhig. Ja, ich muss den Heuschreckenfeldboss da machen, damit ich das Ding schmieden kann. Muss ich denn jetzt echt nochmal wieder zurück? Den habe ich halt nicht geschafft, also knapp nicht geschafft. Genauso wie ein Bienenfeldboss-Quest-Gegner und noch 2 andere, die ich auch knapp nicht geschafft habe. Muss gucken. Also der war ja einfach. Der war auch einfach. Der war auch einfach. Nee, guck mal, 11 von 20 habe ich gesehen. Das sind also noch 9 Stück. Habe ich 9 Quests mit Drache. Da war noch ein stärkerer Gegner. Das ist noch ein stärkerer Gegner. Das. Das ist einer von diesen Energieabsauger-Bossen. Das wissen wir ja, dass wir da jetzt Tofu hinbringen müssen. Das ist der Bienenboss. Die Gottesanbeterin. Das ist das Badenrätsel. Ja, das sind keine neuen Feldbosse. Hä? Okay. So wird das nix. Gehen wir weiter. Noch ein paar Schrittchen. Mal gucken, was noch kommt. Ich habe ein paar Gegner gefunden. Im Wartungsflur.
Damn it! Lenegis soldiers!
Any way we can avoid fighting them?
That all depends on them. Whatever happens, be ready.
Well, so much for them not wanting to fight.
Ho! I am Lord Dohalim of Elda Menencia. I command you.
Threats to the city must be erased.
No. Have they been brainwashed too?
Brainwashed or not, if they want to fight, they got one.
Glacial Spear! Pierce evil! Tempest Whirl! Freeze Laser!
Ether!
Damn it!
Now, while it's reeling!
Now you
Take
see
it
what
down!
I can do!
Dragon Swarm!
Magic
Engage!
I'm jumping
Damn
in
it!
storm!
Bang
your dreams!
Dragon Swarm!
Do it!
Kisara! Commander of Heavens!
Phoenix Cyclone!
A whirling struggle!
It's almost too strong!
Winds of
Split it
heaven!
open!
Be my guest!
It was
I'll
watch it!
heal you all!
Dragon Swarm!
I'll be
The
safe!
flame inside me yearns to be let free!
It's weakened!
This ends now!
A whirling struggle! Pierce evil! Winds of heaven! Burst forth! Freeze Laser! Here's a healing form! First aid! Stockpile!
I'll crush you! Lightning reflexes! Tenebrous claw!
Leave the chargers to me!
Mega Ray!
It's time! I'll finish you here and now!
Don't give up! So astral energy! Full throttle! Go! I'll bring you back from death to this!
In a bind? Ready and
Denied!
Go away! Armor won't save you!
Malevolence!
If it's in the sky,
I'm not done yet.
Sealed! More for the
Dragon
stockpile!
Shout! Thank you! Fire support!
A whirling struggle!
The enemy wields arcs too.
We'll soon see about that!
Nicely blasted!
More for the stockpile!
Go away!
Thanks.
Arc sealed! Sighted!
Rising
More
weapon!
all stocked up!
That
Celestial
spot.
order!
Those soldiers seem different from the citizens we've come across so far.
Yeah, they weren't big talkers, that's for sure. They just attacked without warning.
They weren't in the least bit fazed by Dohalim's presence either.
Indeed. They seem to recognize us as enemies, nothing more. And yet, traditionally, Lenegis hasn't been high on threats. A few frenzied Zeugles during experiments here and there, but not much else.
Their glazed-over eyes reminded me of the soldiers and slaves we met back in Ganath Haros. The ones in blind devotion to Volron.
I've never seen anything like that here on Lenegis before.
Maybe someone doesn't want us here, and the soldiers are their way of letting us know.
What with the Red Woman, the Sovereign, and Volron, we're starting to develop quite the growing list of adversaries. At least we'll know to keep our wits about us.
Ui, das gab gut. Hundemarken Platin. Okay. Ja. Das wird ein langer Weg. Okay, vielleicht muss ich auch diese Mantis besiegen, damit ich die Waffe machen kann. Dann machen wir hier weiter im nächsten Part. Bis dahin, ciao Leute.